Hey guys!
Hello!
It's the SG Flixters, and today we are doing a movie review for The Green Knight. It just came out of the theaters like 1 hour ago. Yeah, it was a long movie.
About 2 hours plus.
And we didn't discuss anything. We don't know what each other's opinions about the movie are going to be. So the movie films Dev Patel as Sir Gawain, a nephew of King Arthur, who sets out on a journey to test his courage and face the Green Knight. It also stars Alicia, Vikander, Edgerton, Sarita, Choudhury, Sean Harris, and Ralph Ineson. Directed by David Lowery and music by Daniel Hart. So before we start on the review, I actually did some research on this movie.
Oh, you did some research already?
Yeah, just to see what initial reviews are like. I didn't watch any of the reviews, I just read a bit here and there. We know that the movie has been out in America months ago, but it's just released in Singapore yesterday.
So we're new to the party in Singapore.
Late to the party in US, but new in Singapore. From what I see, the reviews are very divisive. It's like at extreme ends of the spectrum.
Okay.
Like there are those who really think the movie is fantastic, and then there are those who thinks the movie is the worst thing ever. And I see so many reviews of people just walking out of the cinema. Yeah, they just say they can't finish the movie. Okay, so what do we think about the movie?
I thought it was really bizarre.
Bizarre?
Yes. There were many moments when I was like, huh? Like, what was that about?
I know what you're talking about.
I was like, where are they going with this?
So, okay, this is a spoiler-free review. Just a disclaimer before we continue. So we're not going to be discussing any spoilers. So we thought it was very bizarre.
It was bizarre, but I was thoroughly entertained throughout.
Bizarre and entertaining. The tagline for the movie.
It felt a bit like I got the feeling like, is this supposed to be based on some epic poem or something? You know, so because like I didn't do any research going in. I was just like, okay, let's just watch this.
I know it's based on the Arthurian story, like King Arthur and Merlin and the Knights of the Round Table. And this guy is apparently the nephew of King Arthur. I think it's based on the poetry that came out from those stories. Yeah.
Because it did give me that sense of dude on a voyage.
Yeah.
and the people he meets along the way. It was weird, but in a good way.
How I felt about the movie was, I didn't feel like I was watching a movie. I felt like I was playing a video game. Like for the first half of the movie, I felt like I was playing a video game, and like he was a character in the game. And then it was following the story of the game. In like movies, you go from one action scene to another action scene. You don't really get the in-betweens. But this one is they really follow in between. Was like even like the loud period of him walking on his horse. They also follow him for like a minute or two. You know?
Yeah, but I didn't find that boring.
Yeah, but it's like the journey, you know. It's like the journey from one place to another place. So instead of just showing the two places without the journey in between, now they really focus on his journey between the two places.
Did you feel like you were on the edge of your seat?
Not really. Were you?
Yes, I felt that there were at a lot of moments I was like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going on? And I'm really tense to know, like, just to see where it will lead. And then after that, you're like, huh? What was that about?
Yeah.
And then they moved to the next bit. Yeah, so it was really an epic poem with different episodes.
For me, it was like a video game. It was really like a different episodes of a video game.
Video game poem.
And it's like Kingdom Come Deliverance, the game. The setting was like almost similar, and the pacing, like the game also was very slow pacing, like the journey, the hero's journey. I know this hero's journey is like a style of filmmaking. The hero's journey is more like a small or nobody who becomes a hero through his journey. That was more or less this movie, right? Because at the start he was although he was the nephew of King Arthur, he wasn't really anybody. He didn't have any stories, he didn't have any noble actions or anything. Throughout the movie, things happened to him, and then it added to his story. Good or bad, it added to his story. At the end, he was there, up there. Yeah.
But was he?
Yeah. You have to watch to find out. What do you think about the music by David Hart?
Same sentiments. Bizarre, but good.
There was good parts of the music, like some parts were very happy, cheerful music. But then there was some music that was like nauseating.
Nauseating?
Yeah,
like what?
I don't know, like I felt sick. I don't know if it was the imagery on the screen, but The music also played a part, like made me feel like nauseous. It didn't happen a lot in the movie, but those few scenes that they had this music and those imagery, it was like unsettling. Yeah, but most of it, the music was nice. Yeah, maybe it was on purpose to make people feel unsettled in certain scenes. That's why it was a creative choice on their part.
Like there were moments when I noticed the music. Like in some movies you watch, you don't notice the music as an entity in itself. It just like enhances the story and adds to the mood. But there were many times when I was like, I actually was listening to the music and the words and the lyrics, and it seemed to be like a character on its own.
I think one of the standout things about this movie was the sceneries, like all the different places that the knight travels to. So all the places he visits and I found all the imagery very beautiful to see. The forest areas, the swampy areas, and all the places that his journey brought him to. I think that was very beautiful to look at. Yeah, like those scenes in the forest, it really reminded me of Kingdom Come Deliverance, because there's a lot of forest parts in the game also. So when he was in the forest and then in this kind of setting, I was like, wow, this is exactly like the video game. What do you think about the CGI? That was one of the things I felt wasn't really strong. Like the few CGI characters or parts of the movie, I felt like they didn't look realistic. Like I saw them and I thought that it was not real.
I thought the Green Knight definitely looked real.
Yeah, the Green Knight looked realistic, but I think that was more like a man wearing like a puppet mask or something. I don't think he was fully CGI. Maybe they CGI bits and pieces of him, but I think he was still a man wearing a costume. But like there's some fully CGI characters.
Like those characters, I thought they looked otherworldly, but I didn't think that it was bad CGI.
Oh. So you felt like it was not realistic in a good way.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was not realistic in a bad way. I don't know whether they would have made better CGI with more budget, or it was a creative choice to go this way to make it look a bit weird.
I thought it was good. Yeah. I didn't get the sense of, oh, I'm watching something from like 10 years ago. You know, it did feel like current.
I think all the actors did pretty well in this movie. Dev Patel did a good job as Gawain.
I thought it was okay. Like nothing really stood out to me. Like they were good but not fantastic. But it could have just been the way the story was written and the scripting. Yeah.
I think it was just the journey lah. The main story was the journey and how this character experienced different things. What are you going to rate this movie?
I would give it a 4.
4 popcorns out of 5?
4 out of 5.
Wow, yes. That's fantastic. You really enjoyed the movie.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
In the midst of the weirdness.
So you're on the extreme end of the positive side.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those who really enjoyed this movie. Yeah.
It's not a 5. I wouldn't give it a 5.
A 4.
I decided it deserves a 4.
I would give it a 3. I would give it a 3. For me, it's a 3 because I enjoyed the movie. It's not like I'm like one of those people who wanted to walk out of the movie halfway. Yeah, I did enjoy it and it was quite exciting in some scenes. I did feel like the CGI pulled it down a bit. Yeah, the realism of it wasn't really there for me. And some parts just didn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, but I felt that was all part of the experience.
Yeah, so I think we need to do more research on this story before we can make more sense of what we just saw. Yeah, but based on not knowing anything,
just like regular people going to watch a regular movie.
We don't. I feel like that's one of the things that I have to give it a 3 for.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.